Hey everybody, so today we are bringing you part 2 of The Curse of the Mummy. So I'm going to be running this tomorrow evening, so I figured I'd go ahead and do kind of a really quick toss-up video of what the setup's going to be like before I start throwing down the fabric cover-up, undiscovered rooms and stuff like this. So at the end of the previous session, they did discover a map with some of the notes that they were able to get deciphered by a sage, and it tells them of a second tomb. In this particular tomb, there was supposed to be some type of goddess statue, rather large. They can take the large crystal to, and it's going to unlock another piece of the puzzle, basically, of how to create this mummy or lichdom. So the very first thing they notice when they get to this temple is the temple has been, or I shouldn't say temple, but the actual tomb has been looted. So there is these weird marks in the sand where something or someone, like a group of people or something, has made it into this tomb. Of course, they walk in, the very first thing they notice is there's this large chamber, or large pit that goes down to a chamber down below. And then, of course, they immediately get attacked by this large venomous snake that's in the corner. They do notice, like I said, there's weird scratching and all kinds of weird defacing of the front of the tomb. I'll show some of the detail there. So after a short little comment, they're going to make their way down to here. And there's this kind of weird pulsating, glowing little like brass pyramid in the very center. It has gems inset into it. So they're going to have to decipher exactly what this does. They don't realize at the time, but there's like a slight anti-magic effect. The purpose of this was so if someone does try to levitate down, and they only give it halfway, and then it basically cuts out the magic, so someone falls and they're going to take a little bit of damage. It's not a huge effect, but rather potent. The first thing they notice, down here there does not appear to be a door, or if there was, it was removed at some point. Of course, there's two of these little glowing braziers down there. On the other end, they see a large stone door that's been recently removed, judging by the sand that's built up around it. If they do follow down the hallway, they find three tomb robbers that are deceased. Look like they've only been dead for a couple days. They do notice they have their weapons and stuff like that, so they haven't been completely looted. But they notice there's no coins or anything like that. But next to them, there's a small chest that's all scratched up. And what looks like a scroll. And of course, we make our way over this way. There's be another little trap that's been recently disarmed and set off, and a door that's still closed. They do notice there's some scratches on the side of it, and it looks like a blast mark. Down this way, this little chamber, there's this weird kind of glowing skull that's floating around, and it only speaks in an ancient language. So unfortunately, the party does not speak this language. They are going to have an NPC with them that understands very, very basic letters or characters in this language. They might have a little bit of linguistics ability to translate. And this is actually the statue they're looking for. So I don't want to give too much away about how that's going to tie into it. Basically, they're going to be able to take the large crystal that they found, be able to insert that into the base of the statue. And that inside the crystal, when it's placed in, that's going to glow and project a map up onto the ceiling. So, but they have to insert it a particular way and all kinds of goofy stuff. So up here in the little obelisks that are sitting in the room, there's going to be some lettering and some basically some magical, I guess you call it like enchantments or ways of this enchantment that they're looking for. They're going to be inscribed on this, so it's going to actually basically tell them how to perform this ceremony. Make our way over this way, of course. They do notice, like I said, sand's been blown down this way for a while, like even into this chamber. There's a pile of skulls, some of them human, some of them humanoid, animal skeletons, kind of scattered around the room. You're going to notice two chambers, one here. Whenever the doors are still sealed, they do open those up, there's going to be some undead that are going to come out. When they make their way to this chamber, there's a huge pile of gnawed-on bones. And the party's going to probably assume that like a ghouls or something have been eating people and kind of tossing the remains in this room. But it's actually something much less sinister. There's actually a very small, I shouldn't say small, I guess medium-sized young dragon. I get my camera to focus. That is taking up residence here in the cave. Basically, this little fella made his way through the tomb down here, and he's claimed it as his own. So, of course, he has his small little treasure so far that he's been able to round up. There on his little nook up top. And, of course, one of the long-running jokes in this campaign is that, or I should say a lot of my campaigns, that there's about the, some people call them the cave crabs or the crab trolls. So, of course, we got some crabs in a little freshwater pool down there, which helps the dragon have some food when he doesn't get more tasty options available, of course. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of a nice, simple little setup there. Altogether, I think this adventure scenario is probably only going to take about 3 hours. It's not going to be a huge, heavy role play, but this is going to be kind of a shorter game. So, but that is pretty much it for this. There is a third part of this that I've kind of written up, but it's going to be separate from the actual kind of the dungeon delving series. It's going to be more of a role-playing aspect where they're going to be in town. They're going to be unlocking, figuring out what the wizard's trying to do with this, and then why. So probably won't be quite as exciting, but definitely kind of an interesting setup I figured I would show everyone. Hopefully you all are doing well. I know with all the craziness going on with the elections, and then some people are still in COVID lockdown, some people are not. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully people are starting to get back to gaming. I know I'm excited to start gaming on a regular basis again soon. But yeah, that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will go ahead and post this up hopefully later tonight, so we'll get this out for you guys tomorrow by the time the game goes live. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.